Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another quick video here on the Fellow KGB channel. My name is Kyle. We're going to be going over some of the NFL free agency moves. We just had free agency kind of open up the last couple of days. I think today is the first official day that these guys can actually sign their contracts. So what we're going to do is this is a fantasy football, based show. So we're going to be looking mainly at some of these contracts for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and tight ends. So let me just get my boxes straight here. And let's see here. So we're going to start with the quarterbacks. And yesterday was the big news with what the Chicago Bears were doing. You see Andy Dalton signing to Chicago for a 1-year, $10 million deal. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick signing with Washington. This was, I think, on Monday night. 1-year, $10 million deal. Jacoby Brissett did sign with the Miami Dolphins as their backup 1 year for $7.5 million. So that's a pretty good contract for a backup there. And then I'm just kind of looking down the rest of the way here. There's not too many guys that we should be interested in as far as fantasy football this year. Of course, we'll want to. Jameis Winston did sign. I don't know why this isn't updated in here yet, but Jameis Winston is indeed back with New Orleans Saints. I'd like to see the money on that, actually. And then we're kind of just waiting to see what else happens. Alex Smith, Mitch Trubisky. I'm seeing rumors that Gardner Minshew might get traded. So there's a few more moves left in the quarterback room here for free agency. But the main one was Andy Dalton headed to Chicago. Ryan Fitzpatrick over in Washington. I'm super excited for Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas. You got a couple other guys that could benefit there quite a bit. So we'll move over to the running back spot. Now, I don't know why SpotTrack is not listing Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, of course, was the biggest running back to sign so far. But as of right now, we're seeing Jamal Williams signs with the Detroit Lions, 2 years, $7.5 million. I think that's a pretty low deal for him. I think he could have got, upwards of 4 or 5, million per year here. So it's kind of a low deal for Jamal Williams. He's going to be the main backup for DeAndre Swift. If you think about how the Lions used their running backs last year, I don't think Adrian Peterson's signing with anyone quite yet. But Jamal Williams is going to be used as kind of the banger, and we could see a nice 1-2 punch with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Now, that doesn't mean Swift's fantasy value is going to plummet or anything. It's just going to be used as a nice tandem. So, and if anything does happen to DeAndre Swift, I do like Jamal Williams quite a bit there for fantasy purposes. You got Devontae Booker going to the New York Giants. He'll be the primary backup there. I like that for Josh Jacobs, actually, because Devontae Booker was kind of pesky behind them. They don't really have a true number 2 back behind Josh Jacobs now. They still have Jalen Richard, I think. So that opens up room for Las Vegas to need another running back and then just a quality backup for Saquon Barkley there. Carlos Hyde did sign with Jacksonville. I don't think he's going to, overly take away too many touches from James Robinson, but they did say that, hey, we need to, round out this running back room. So bringing Carlos Hyde back to Jacksonville, yes, he did play in Jacksonville for a little bit. That was 2 years ago. But anyways, Carlos Hyde, 2 years, $4.5 million. Mark Ingram, of course, with the Texans, 1 year, $2.5 million. And then Marlon Mack signed today with the Colts. They brought back the Mack, 1 year, $2 million. He'll probably test free agency and try to get look elsewhere here. But that doesn't really affect Jonathan Taylor, I think, that much. Again, that's kind of just backup money, $2 million. That's even less than Mark Ingram, which is kind of saying a lot. And then Lamar Miller goes to Washington, just to, I think, a body there to be a backup. And then we're still waiting for guys like Phillip Lindsay, who I thought got tendered by the Broncos, Kenyon Drake, Todd Gurley, Duke Johnson, Tevin Coleman, James White, who's been linked to Tampa Bay. A lot of good options there. Let me look around here. Mike Davis, we'll see where he goes. Damian Williams got released by the Kansas City Chiefs. We're still waiting for Leonard Fournette to get somewhere. Malcolm Brown could be a quality backup somewhere. Jerick McKinnon. Of course, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, Alfred Morris, some of the OGs. Le'Veon Bell even. There's a lot of interesting names. James Conner is another really big name to watch. And then you got Wayne Gallman, too. Now that they got Devontae Booker, we'll probably see Wayne Gallman change teams here. And then Chris Carson. I don't know why they have him as Christopher Carson, but Chris Carson is probably the last big name to fall at the running back spot. So we'll move over to the wide receiver. This is probably my favorite position here. And we see Corey Davis got 3 years, $37.5 million to go to New York Jets. I think that's a pretty good spot for him. Quarterback pending, but you got to think Corey Davis, he tried to get the most money that he can. And New York is the place. So, they need a number 1 receiver. They still have second-year player Denzel Mims. But we don't know if they're going to have Jamison Crowder. Rashad Perriman's probably walking away. So Corey Davis is going to step right into the number 1 role. Denzel Mims finally has a quality, outside receiver that can help take some pressure off of him. So I like that for Mims and Davis. If Darnold stays there, that's going to be it'll be fine. Otherwise, we might be looking at a rookie quarterback there. Now Nelson Aguilar got a good chunk of money from New England Patriots. 2 years, $22 million. That's 11 a year. And the Patriots weren't done there. They also signed Kendrick Bourne, as you see there, for a 3-year, $15 million deal. So they really didn't give Cam Newton much of anything to work with last year. You look at some of the receivers. I mean, Jacoby Myers, who's been a nice developmental player for them. Demir Bird, who's quality, but he's not a guy that you want running 90-some% of the snaps like they had. So they're adding Aguilar, Bourne, to Jacoby Myers. Demir Bird, I think, is Demir Bird still on their team this year? I'm not sure. And then N'Keal Harry, of course. So they're rounding out the receiver groups. We'll get to their tight end spending spree in a little bit here. And then you see Jacksonville go ahead and sign 2 Detroit Lion receivers, Jamal Agnew and Marvin Jones. Now, Agnew is a little weird because he's more of a return man. He ended up getting 3 years, $14.25 million. Marvin Jones, 2 years, $12.5 million. So I like that quite a bit. That probably means Keelan Cole's on his way out. There was a weird rumor about DJ Chark being moved maybe to the Baltimore Ravens. But I don't know. The other thing, too, with the Baltimore Ravens is we saw that they signed AJ Green. I think it was yesterday, but now that something happened, and now he's going to Arizona on a 1-year, $6 million deal. I think he's going to probably end up being like the big slot receiver. Who knows what Larry Fitzgerald's up to, but AJ Green's going to probably step in and be their number 3 wide receiver. You got another veteran here, Emmanuel Sanders, signing with Buffalo. I like this. John Brown left. We'll see John Brown down here. He went to the Raiders, and he's going to do, the Nelson Aguilar deep ball role. So I like that. It's a pretty good deal for a 31-year wide receiver. Andre Roberts signing with Houston. Tyrell Williams signing with Detroit. As of right now, he's probably their number 1 receiver. John Ross has been freed. He is over in New York Giants. They needed some receiver help. I think he's going to be their number 3 receiver right now. Of course, Slayton, Shepard, and now John Ross. I think Golden Tate's probably moving on. Chris Moore, former Raven, signs with the Texans. That seems to be a popular thing right now. Robert Foster to the Dolphins. Chad Beebe stays with Minnesota. Philip Dorsett to Jacksonville. Noah Brown stays with Dallas. So we still have a ton of big names here. Of course, the biggest is Kenny Galladay. Let me see, Wolf Fuller. Those are probably the 2 biggest names. But Tim Patrick is interesting. We'll see if Denver keeps him around. T.Y. Hilton, Larry Fitzgerald, Golden Tate, Deshaun Jackson, Sammy Watkins, Adam Humphries, Brashad Perriman, Marquise Goodwin. I think he defaulted back to San Francisco. Cordero Patterson, Willie Snead, Danny Amendola. I like Keelan Cole kind of a bit. He's 28 years old. He's still got some good ball left in him, and if he gets into a more exciting offense, he could be a player that we shouldn't sleep on. Antonio Brown, Curtis Samuel's probably the other big name here. I would put him up there with. I mean, you got Juju, Curtis, Kenny G, and Wolf Fuller. So there's some big receivers to sign yet. Looking down the list here for anybody else that pops out. But those are pretty much the main names that I saw. I like Josh Reynolds, too. He's a pretty good young receiver from the Rams that might make Van Jefferson pop up a little bit more with some snap counts. Allen Lazard, we should expect him to go back to Green Bay. Let me see. Who else is on this list? That's pretty much it for the receivers, but the receiver market is still pretty good. You got probably the top 4 or 5 best receivers still available on the market. So we'll look at the tight ends real quick before finishing up this video. We got Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry both signing with the New England Patriots. Now, Jonnu's was a 4-year deal. Hunter's was a 3-year deal, but they're both being paid $12.5 million. They got a fantastic. I mean, they finally got Cam Newton weapons. You got him, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, and then Nelson Aguilar to add to Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, and we'll see about Demir Bird. But I like this quite a bit. I'm actually kind of excited for Cam Newton at the moment right now. There's still a rumor that they might sign a running back. We've seen Chris Carson's name linked to New England, so we'll see what happens there. But all of a sudden, the Patriots are just spending money. They had a lot of cap room, and they're making some moves to improve that offense. So I applaud them for that. Rob Gronkowski, of course, back with Tampa Bay. Sathan Carter, just a kind of a backup for Miami. Chris Manhertz, backup for Jacksonville. Pharaoh Brown stays with Houston. Josh Hill goes to Detroit. And James O'Shaughnessy stays with Jacksonville. So there's a lot of good names here on this list. I mean, of course, veterans like Kyle Rudolph, Jared Cook. I like Tyler Kroft. He's a solid blocking tight end. He should get paid somewhere. But Jesse James, Tyler Eifert, Jacob Hollister, there's some kind of middling players. We'll see if Mercedes Lewis goes back to Green Bay. But as far as guys I'm excited about, Gerald Everett, he's only 27 years old. He's announced that he's leaving LA, so he's going to be somewhere, and he should be the featured tight end, the best pass-catching tight end probably available yet. So I'm watching for Gerald Everett. I mean, of course, Trey Burton's kind of fun. We'll see about Jeff Swaim. I think did Jeff Swaim resign with the Titans? I don't know. I saw Anthony Ferkser resign with the Titans too. So right now, the Titans' #1 receiver, or the tight end, is Anthony Ferkser, who had a pretty good fantasy season last year. So I'm probably going to be talking him up quite a bit. I'm just kind of moving on down the list here. Nothing else really sticks out. I think Gerald Everett's like the last big name for me that could be fantasy relevant. So we're watching that. Maybe Trey Burton. I don't know, but it's a pretty dried up market for now. The top names have signed, so that's going to do it for the free agency, I guess, review here. There's still got a lot of big names. I might make another video tomorrow night if we get some more names, but for now, I think I'm just gonna. I'm gonna get in the habit of this, of just ending my video with making some drafters.com best ball picks. So in this draft here, I'm up to pick. I had the 7th overall. I took Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, thinking maybe Aaron Jones leaves, and then I go back and get Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, Kareem Hunt, DJ Chark, Aaron Rodgers, Chase Edmonds, Logan Thomas, and now we are back up to pick. We won't pick for a while yet. So Robert Tonyan does stick out. I don't know if I want to be that invested into the Green Bay Packers. Corey Davis not getting a lot of love here. He's actually fallen kind of down below his ADP. Let me see if anybody else. Marvin Jones in Jacksonville. That's kind of fun. But there's a lot of rookies we can take. I still really I want to try and get Gabe Davis on the turnaround here. But as far as tight ends, I mean, I like Mike Gesicki quite a bit. Maybe we can snag another quarterback here. Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz. Maybe we wait on quarterback. I'm not super in love. We have Aaron Rodgers. I do like the tight end, but Robert Tonyan, like we would have Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Adams, and then Robert Tonyan. I guess that's kind of putting our eggs all into one basket. I do like the tight ends later too, and we have Logan Thomas. Maybe let's just take a look at running back here. I like Chuba Hubbard. I like McKissick, Gus Edwards. Some rookie running backs here. Jamal Williams. I'm not super in love with this. Maybe we take Jalen Waddle, Corey Davis. Jalen Reagor could make a nice step forward here. I'm kind of feeling the wide receivers, but I really like Corey Davis here. So I'm just going to make sure I secure Corey Davis. And we know John Brown's out of town. Gabe Davis, my bad. He got a lot of run as a rookie, so I'm super excited about him. So I'll go ahead and just make sure I get the guy that I want and not miss him by a pick or two. And now we are up to pick here in this one, and we started again. We get this. Devontae Adams just falls to 7. I don't get it. But Adams, Metcalf, Najee Harris, Etienne, Chase Claypool, and now we are up to pick. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Watson, Herbert, Rodgers, Wilson. Kind of thinking we should take a quarterback here, but I don't love it. A.J. Dillon, Ronald Jones, David Johnson, Raheem Mostert. I don't love the running backs here. We have 2 rookie running backs, so that's kind of a concern. As far as receivers, DJ Chark, Juju Smith-Schuster, Cortland Sutton, Jamar Chase. What about tight ends? TJ Hawkinson. I kind of like Hawkinson here, but it seems a little bit rich. It feels like running back might be the best move to make here. I mean, I'm super into Ronald Jones. I do end up taking a lot of Packers, and we know Jamal Williams is out of town. So I kind of like getting a guy like A.J. Dillon who could just be a touchdown beast here. So he's starting to dip a little bit. I saw him going in the 5th round not too long ago. And so we got Najee Harris, Etienne. I think I'm just going to take A.J. Dillon, the guy who's going to get a lot more opportunity this year. I don't trust it on a weekly basis, but for best ball, it should be okay. And that gives us 3 solid running backs that one of them should be able to produce. So that's going to do it. I'm all out of picks here, but we got 4 other drafts going on at once. So but I don't know. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave me some comments. If you have any questions or want to see anything else for future videos, just let me know. But thank you for watching. Subscribe. We'll see you guys in another video. Thanks. Peace.